which takes us into
Who's that Pokemon?
All right, and our Who's That Pokemon for this week is Kadabra, who in Japanese is known as Youngerer.
Youngerer.
Youngerer. It'll make sense when we talk about his
Okay.
Japanese name origin.
Okay,
Some basic information on Kadabra. It's number 64 in the Pokédex. It is a psychic type. It is 4 foot 3 inches tall and weighs 124.6 pounds. And it is known as the Psi Pokémon. And then it evolves into Alakazam when it is traded. Kadabra's name origin. Kadabra's English name comes from the famous magic word abracadabra, traditionally spoken by magicians when casting spells or performing illusions. Its Japanese name, Youngerer, is a direct reference to Uri Geller, a real-world psychic and illusionist known for claims of telekinesis and spoon bending. The name is a phonetic adaptation of Geller into Japanese. This resulted in Uri Geller suing Nintendo for using his likeness.
Oh wow. Yeah, that dude's had like a bunch of, he had like magic specials and stuff like that. At one point they thought he was a member of Mossad, like the Israeli like CIA basically. But yeah, there's a bunch of interesting stuff about that dude.
Okay,
But
yeah,
the least interesting is that he sued Nintendo. That's pretty lame.
yeah. Well, yeah, in the trivia section of Who's That Pokemon, we'll talk more about that.
Okay, cool.
What is a Kadabra based off of? Its primary inspiration is stage magicians and illusionists. Kadabra's entire visual comes from stage magic. The spoon reference classic magician and psychic tricks, especially spoon bending. Its mustache, angular face, and stern expression resemble an older intellectual magician rather than a playful performer. And the constant use of the spoon as a focus object mirrors how magicians use props to channel their tricks. It also channels pop culture's psychic influence. Kadabra is heavily influenced by late 20th century fascination with psychics and ESPN. No, sorry, ESP.
Not the Sports Center people.
Not the Sports Center. Especially figures who claim telekinesis or mind reading abilities. The spoon bending imagery is a direct shorthand for psychic power. Its Pokédex entries emphasize IQ, memory, and brain growth, not mysticism or spells. And psychic power is treated as a mental science, not magic. So his biology, or there it could be a female, which even the female has a cool mustache. Kadabra is a primarily yellow, slightly humanoid Pokemon with mammalian features.
Oh, we got there.
We got there. It has 2 long pointed ears, a red star set into its forehead, and narrow, deep set eyes framed by wide cheeks that taper into a thin snout. 2 mustache-like tufts of fur extend from either side of its snout. Males typically have longer mustaches than females. Man,
that's usually how it works, yeah.
Its torso is segmented with bulky shoulders, a thick brown chest, and a smaller abdomen marked by 3 red wavy lines. From its abdomen extends large, thick tail wrapped with a brown band near the base.
I tell you, I love a good lady stash.
Kadabra's limbs are lean and angular. Its thin arms have brown elbows and in 3-fingered hands tipped with white claws. Its legs feature prominent knees and large 3-toed feet, also ending in white claws. With 2 toes facing forward and 1 backwards, Kadabra is almost always seen carrying a silver spoon, which is said to amplify its telekinetic abilities. Without a spoon, its power is significantly reduced, and gold spoons do not function as an amplifier.
Imagine if they lost a spoon, just like set down the spoon and some kid picked it up for their, I don't know, their ice cream or something or whatever. And then suddenly the Kadabra is just powerless.
Just powerless. Kadabra emits alpha waves strong enough to trigger headaches and in some cases cause strange phenomena such as clocks running backwards, machines malfunctioning, or sensitive devices shutting down entirely. These waves intensify when Kadabra is in danger, and closing its eyes is said to double the amount of alpha particles it releases. When Kadabra itself has a headache, its alpha waves become unusually erratic. While using its psychic powers, all of its brain cells are described as working in perfect unison. It sleeps while levitating, resting its head against its springy tail like a pillow, and it can store psychic energy within the star on its forehead as part of its preparation for evolution. One theory even suggests Kadabra originated from a human child transformed by uncontrolled psychic ability.
Whoa.
Kadabra is most commonly found living in urban areas. Kadabra and its evolution Alakazam are the only known Pokemon capable of learning the move Kinesis. All right, let's go to those Pokedex entries. Red and Blue says it emits special alpha waves from its body that induce headaches just by being close by. So it's a child.
Exactly. Well, it is only like 4-3, so yeah.
Yeah. Pokemon Yellow says many odd things happen if this Pokemon is close by. For example, it makes clocks run backwards. Pokemon Stadium says when it uses psychic power, all its brain cells work in unison to generate powerful alpha waves. Pokemon Gold says it possesses strong spiritual power. The more danger it faces, the stronger its psychic power. Pokemon Silver says if it uses its abilities, it emits special alpha waves that cause machines to malfunction. Pokemon Crystal says when it closes its eyes, twice as many alpha particles come out of the surface of its body. Pokemon Ruby says Kadabra emits a peculiar alpha wave if it develops a headache. Only those people with a particularly strong psyche can hope to become a trainer of this Pokemon.
How do they know if the Kadabra gets a headache or not?
Because whenever it closes its eyes, it's also reaching for the ibuprofen.
They spend the Pokemon Center spend thousands a week on ibuprofen for the Kadabra.
In the Psyducks. Pokemon Sapphire says Kadabra holds a silver spoon in its hand. The spoon is used to amplify the alpha waves in its brain. Without the spoon, the Pokemon is said to be limited to half the usual amount of its telekinetic powers. Pokemon Emerald says it is rumored that a boy with psychic abilities suddenly transformed into Kadabra while he was assisting research into extrasensory powers.
That one's creepy. I hope that one's true.
Just wakes up and he's a Kadabra. He's like, oh, I hit
Mhm.
puberty. I got this wonderful mustache. Fire Red says it happened one morning. A boy with extrasensory powers awoke in bed, transformed into Kadabra.
What, what? I feel like they would know. Like it wouldn't just be a rumor. Like I feel like they would know if someone heard a scream upstairs and ran up to find their kid turned into a into a Pokemon that carried around a spoon.
Little Billy was just eating his cereal, and now look at him.
He has a full-grown mustache. His sister has a slightly small or shorter mustache.
Um, Pokemon Diamond says if one is nearby, an eerie shadow appears on TV screens. Seeing the shadow is said to bring bad luck. Pokemon Platinum says it stares at its silver spoon to focus its mind. It emits more alpha waves while doing so. Pokemon Sun says a theory exists that this Pokemon was a young boy who couldn't control his psychic powers and ended up transformed into this Pokemon. Pokemon Moon says Kadabra's presence infests televisions and monitors with creepy shadows that bring bad luck. Pokemon Ultra Sun says it stares at a silver spoon to amplify its psychic powers before it lets loose. Apparently, gold spoons are no good.
Which is weird because gold is a good conductor of electricity. I guess
But not
because it's
psychic. And
yeah, I guess
silver's a
that's
good
true.
conductor of psychic powers,
Fair
I
enough.
guess. Ultramoon says it possesses strong mental capabilities, but its psychic powers are halved when it's not holding a silver spoon.
Oh, sorry, folks. I can't have my Kadabra at the battle because I had to do some dishes.
Pokemon Sword says using its psychic power, Kadabra levitates as it sleeps. It uses its springy tail as a pillow.
It's like a kangaroo, a Kadabra-roo.
Pokemon Shield says this Pokemon's telekinesis is immensely powerful. To prepare for evolution, Kadabra stores up psychic energy in the star on its forehead. And then Legends Arceus says there are rumors that a child with mystical powers became a Kadabra. However, this remains unverified. I suspect that the spoon Kadabra holds enhances its brainwaves.
Hmm.
That was like an ADD moment. This guy, he was
Yeah.
just going all over the place, this professor. All right, and then a couple bits of trivia on Kadabra. In the Pokemon Red and Blue beta, Kadabra was originally known as Pocus. I'm going to guess Abra was Hocus.
Hocus. Yeah.
And then the last bit, I said we'd talk about this. For 20 years, Kadabra was not printed as a trading card game card since the English Skyridge expansion in 2003. This was likely the result of Nintendo and Pokemon Card Laboratories' desire to avoid further litigation from illusionist Uri Geller, who claimed that Kadabra is a parody of him and attempted to sue Nintendo over the notion. However, on November 28, 2020, Geller released an apology to Twitter announcing that he would allow Nintendo to print cards featuring Kadabra again. The first Kadabra card released since Uri Geller's dismissal of his lawsuit is included in the Japanese Pokemon Card 151 subset, released on June 16, 2023, and the English 151 expansion released on September 22nd, 2023. Due to this limitation, Kadabra is also the only Stage 1 Pokemon that can be skipped by its basic evolution introduced with a particular Abra card able to evolve itself directly into Alakazam.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, and that is our Who's That Pokemon segment on Kadabra.